apparently there's a cartoon called Central Park. There's a woman named Kristen Bell who was one of the voices on the show. She voiced one of the characters named Molly. Molly is biracial. Kristen Bell is a white woman in real life. So Kristen Bell is stepping away from her role doing the voice of Molly. And there's also another lady who does the voice of another cartoon. I think it's called Big Mouth. Her name is Jenny Slate. Jenny Slate did the voice of the character Missy. Missy is yet another biracial girl on another cartoon. And a white woman is stepping away from the role, to give the role to a black woman, a little charity case. In my opinion, they're being much more problematic if they hire a black actress to voice the role of Molly or Missy, because mixed people are not black. A lot of people, they talk about how mixed people, don't know whether or not they're white or they're black, and they're like, oh, well, what am I? And it causes confusion. It's not being mixed that's causing the confusion. What's causing the confusion is the illusion of inclusion and exclusion. You got to understand something. The definition of white supremacy, the definition of white privilege, is the ability to say you are included or excluded, to say that your whiteness is premium and your lack of melanin, or lack of eumelanin, because they have pheomelanin, right? Anyways, your lack of melanin makes you superior. And there's nothing that I can name that exposes white privilege and racist people's superiority complex like saying, if you're half white, you're not white enough, you're not white, go over there with them, you're black. You have one drop of black blood, you're tainted, you're not good enough to be white. However, you can be black, and not only can you be black, we're telling you that's what you are. Because the last thing you're going to do is come over here with us thinking that you're one of us, because you're not. We decide who and what goes where and how. And what you're going to do is, you're not going to run around saying that you're one of us. You're going to say that you're one of them, because we are the superior race. We are the superior people. We only accept whites. And if you're anything else, we're going to make sure the battle lines are drawn, and you better go stand on that side, because we don't want our good white blood being tainted with your chocolate. And even if it's just a little bit of chocolate, it'll still turn into chocolate milk. And we don't want that. The crazy thing about it is, this one drop rule is not scientific. It's not a scientifically based thing. The public never voted on it. It's not democratic. It's just a made up thing that somebody came up with, and people still follow this nonsensical rule to this day in the year 2020. It's outdated. It's not real. We have women that look like Rachel Megan Markle sitting next to women that look like Portia Diane Williams. And society says they're the same thing. This is about as mind-blowing, in my opinion, as the myth that brown people are black and pink people are white. So where did these terms come from? If I'm brown, why would you say that I'm black? It's because it's based off of the racist caste system. Telling mixed people they're black is the modern day caste system playing out right in front of our eyes. You're saying there's a racial hierarchy. Mixed people will never be a part of it. And you better go where we tell you, boy or girl. I mean, think about it. They're basically putting you in your place and telling you what you are because they said so. I mean, they say that people who are on the really light-skinned side and they have smaller features, a thinner nose, thinner lips, they'll say, oh, you're white passing. Have you ever heard of anybody saying you're black passing? Using the term white passing is equivalent to saying fair-skinned. Like, oh, that's fair. That's good enough. That's acceptable. That's presentable. Satisfactory. Human. That's human. They're dehumanizing people by saying this not even realistic thing called the one drop rule is a thing. And they're dehumanizing people. And in my opinion, sometimes even criminalizing people by saying things like white passing. In other words, you could be an invader. You might be a spy. Like, look at this Negro infiltrating white society while wearing whiteface, the cloak of whiteness. This colored has weaponized their whiteness. They've drawn on their whiteness, and our plans to classify this Negro as other has backfired. This Negro has found a cheat code, and they're an active threat to the white kingdom. This invader can potentially infect us. It has taken over a white body, and when it's done, there won't be any white left. It's poisonous. This white is an exclusive club. We can't go letting outsiders into it. Therefore, if you are half white, you're not white. You're black. And it's like, wait a second. If somebody's equally white as they are black, then how did they get made black magically? How does that happen? Well, I'm white and I say so. You're whatever I say you are. You're not allowed to define yourself. You know, during a time where men are saying that they're women and women are saying that they're men, you know, we've had discussions about whether or not a person can be transracial. You know, like, for example, a white person decides they want to be black for whatever reason, but you don't hear about black people deciding that they want to be white. You know, it just wouldn't work because white people wouldn't go for that. You know, you can't do it in reverse. Black is symbolic of descending. So you're going down, just like poverty. Like how you can choose to just give up all your money and just end up impoverished and just lose everything. So you can choose to be poor. You can choose to have nothing. Just like people can choose to be black. I've heard numerous people say that were obviously not black. They were like, I'm black. I've heard some Asians say it. Some Hispanics say it. Because it doesn't mean anything. It has no power. It's like this valueless thing. And since it holds no value, everybody can be a part of it. Everyone can embrace it and try to be it if they want to. White is, of course, on the other end of the spectrum. So therefore, no one's allowed to just declare whiteness. Just like you can't just say, you know, you're transracial, for example. You know, like, well, I identify with wealth. I'm a wealthy person. I'm a rich person. Everyone's going to look at you like you're crazy. You might even think that you're crazy yourself. You might be thinking, well, which is superior? Which one do you put above the other? Whiteness or wealth? Well, considering the fact that they've called black athletes $1 million slaves, then, or $40 million slaves, however the saying goes, I would have to say that whiteness is above money itself. And you might say, well, if whites have privilege, how can they have privilege if some white people are poor and some black people are rich? Well, let me explain it to you like this. First of all, let me say this. Some of you might be in denial about the whole $1 million slave thing. Do I have to remind you guys what Donald Sterling, who used to be the owner of the LA Clippers, said about black people to his biracial girlfriend? She was like, I'm pretty sure she was black and Mexican, but she was a mixed woman. He pretty much let her know, like, look, don't be bringing them Negroes around here and taking pictures with them or whatever. Like, he did not want his woman to be publicly seen with these people, these black men. Like, yeah, you know, you can say hi to them or whatever, but they are beneath me. I own them. Look, I give them little trinkets. I give them a little bit of money or whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm white and I'm in charge here. They are objects for me to manipulate, for me to control, and for me to place where I want to place them. So they might have a little bit of money, a little bit of fame or whatever, but must I remind these Negroes that they're still Negroes? Listen, the system of white supremacy could not exist if all white people were rich and all black people were poor. It just wouldn't work because it would honestly be too blatant. And it's not that nobody could deny it at that point. People could still deny it. However, forget the people who are blatantly with the program. It's not those people that they have to worry about, the people that control things and set up society the way that it is, the architects. They know that at the end of the day, the people that you really have to worry about is those people who will break the programming, the people who will go against the grain, the people who will say, well, wait a second here. This isn't fair. You know, why do we have and they don't have? I want to share with them. I want to bring them up to where we are. So if you made things blatant, number one, people would break programming. and they would try to dismantle the system. Also, you wouldn't be able to play the moral authority. You know how they play the moral authority around the world? Like when they want to, attack a country or whatever, then you go and you say, look, okay, we're going to attack your country because you don't treat those people there right. See, America is the greatest country, and, we're just different. And therefore, we're going to come over there and, like America does with their military, go and bomb other countries, kill millions of other people, and then look those people right in their face and say, look, we destroy this place now, we're going to rebuild it. We are better people than you. There were a bunch of quote unquote brown, so-called brown savages, and we're going to humanize you. We're going to make you more like us. Now, if America is seen as a cold, dark, distant place that is unfriendly to people who aren't from America and people who are Americans, then it's like, wait a second, we don't trust you. You're the bad guys. So America has gone out of its way to make it seem as if, black people are included, not being abused, not being held back in life in any sort of way, actually being helped in every sort of way. And it was a false narrative, but that's the image that America tried to project. Of course, after the whole George Floyd thing, a lot of people woke up and were like, nah, y'all Americans are full of crap. But they tried, because you got to keep the scam going. The second that people look at America as being a bunch of tyrants and bullies and thugs and terrorists, then it's game over. Then they can't democratize anybody else's country. They can't be the moral authority anywhere in the world because they're not the moral authority. They're not a moral example, so-called, on their own land, even though this is not white people's land. No matter, I'll get there when anybody says it. And for the record, let me wrap this video up. Let me just say this to the people out there who think that I'm saying anything bad about like general white people. I'm really not, because I don't have any problem with like white people, like average everyday white people. You're not my problem. I'm talking about the people that are in these fraternities and these think tanks and whatnot that come up with this script. The scientists, all of the rest of these people, very, very dangerous people. But anyways, this is all my opinion. I think that this whole biracial thing is it's honestly very problematic. And I know what some of y'all are thinking. Did you say that if you ever get married, you're gonna marry a mixed woman? Yeah, I'm not against mixed people, stupid. I never said I was against it. I love me some mixed girl magic. I live for mixed girl magic, but they're not black. They're both black and white usually, even though there's black people who are mixed with Asian. Of course, there's Blasian people like April Jones or Karuchi Tran. And I just thought about something. If somebody who's half black and half Asian decided that they wanted to classify themselves as white, that would be transracial, and that would be very, very interesting. I know some of y'all are thinking, what about Tiger Woods? Isn't he Blasian, black and Asian? No, he's Ka-Blasian, Caucasian, black, and Asian. He's a panda. Like they say that pandas are black and white, and they're from Asia, so they're all three. Just like Tiger Woods. But anyways, shout out to the mixed people out there. I'm not saying that I don't accept you guys just the same way that I accept black people, because I do, because you're people. So I love you and accept you just as much as I would love or accept a black person. So it's not that I'm like, saying that I'm so much different than you or better than you or anything stupid like that. Like I said, if I get married, she's going to have that mixed girl magic that I just can't seem to get enough of. But I'm just saying it is what it is. And the white people that set up society, not just everyday white people, the white people behind the scenes, came up with this mythological one-drop rule, and it confuses people and it causes people unnecessary anguish, in my opinion. Anyways, let me know what y'all think about it below. Thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Make sure you choose all notifications for more. Do you want to see me make more videos like this that are not reality TV related? And I play this game on my channel for anybody who's new. I say a secret password to say in the comment section that lets me know you listen all the way until the end of the video. Secret password is all drops matter. Alright, y'all. MAGA. Click the subscribe button right now for more Meat Magazine. Click the notification bell, all notifications. Click the thumbs up button on this video. Post a comment below the video in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to all the Meat Magazine channels for more videos. The links to my other channels are in the description box.